What's going on, people? It is Irish Gunner HD here. You can call me Irish. And just a couple of things before we get into it. I have a bit of a cold. I feel like I've got something. I'm coming down with something, so apologise if there's any like weird noises or if my voice sounds a bit funny. And sniffles. Yeah, apologies for sniffles. But about this gameplay, it's a long ass game on Sablan Pipeline. That's the one on the end game. And I know I haven't posted a whole lot of end game, but I'm trying to do more now that I'm playing a lot more on the PC and stuff. So I'm hoping to post a lot more of Endgame and like the newer expansion, different game modes and stuff. But yeah, so that's that. It's a game of Conquest, Conquest Large, I believe, actually. First game of Conquest Large, now that I think of it, and it's on Endgame. So I hope you enjoy the gameplay. It was quite slow at times, so there is going to be a lot of fast forwarding. Forwarding. Yeah, if you didn't hear that word there, a lot of fast forwarding. Because I don't like to cut out parts of my gameplay because I just feel like it doesn't show the actual. It doesn't. Like, if I was to cut out the parts that I sped up, you'd miss a lot of actually what happened. You know, that kind of way? And, like, by all means, if you don't mind that and if you'd prefer that kind of way, let me know. And I will, of course, just delete them next time and yeah, work that way. Just edit it differently. But for now, I think the best way that I've come up with doing it is to just fast forward, basically. And you can still see what's happening. I'm not, like, hiding anything or whatever, if you know what I mean, like, just so you know what's happening. But it's not interesting enough to watch me like run from one flag to another that takes a minute and a half, which it literally does. You can't tell because it's sped up, but I can see in the little timeline in Vegas there it's actually about a minute and a half. But yeah, about 2 minutes in is a good place to get started with the commentary. So gameplay is not the kind of the topic for the video, strangely. I know. Read an article on Sky News, the Sky News app. If you're American, it's like Sky News is like the big news source or whatever. But so it's the 40th anniversary of the mobile phone today, the April the 3rd. So April the 3rd is the third anniversary. Sorry, the 40th. My bad. April 3rd is the 40th anniversary of the mobile phone, and the article just kind of went on to say things like how far technology has come, and the fact that it had like 30 motherboards or something like that on board inside the first circuit boards. Sorry, not motherboards. 30 circuit boards. Had a talk time of 35 minutes, which you had to charge for 10 hours to get those full 35 minutes. And it was like 9 inches tall, which is just insane. But it just talked about in the 40 years that since then, how much things have changed. Like, I just looked that up. I just researched that as I was talking on my current mobile phone, which just goes to show how much things have changed. And it just got me thinking. It's like the reason it went on to explain then that the reason that it's gotten like technology has exploded so much. I think it's, don't quote me on what I'm about to say here, but I think it's Murphy's Law, which is to say that something along the lines of technology improves twofold every 18 months, roughly, something like that. Don't quote me on it. That's probably wrong, more than likely wrong, but I believe that's more or less what the law is. Technology more or less advances twice as much every 18 months, every year and a half. It gets twice as better, twice as faster, twice as small and stuff like that. Excuse me. And that was making me think, okay, well, if it's taken 40 years for them to get something, for mobiles and technology and stuff like that to go from what it was in the 60s and the 70s, where you had big transistors and everything had big knobs and looked like it was off like what the people in the 60s and 70s thought the future would look like, you know, that kind of way, like one of those big control machine things with all the knobs and little worry things and whatever and lights and bleep and bloops, to coming into like nowadays where it's all just like in one box in like a computer with a mouse and a keyboard, or like something like a phone has turned into like a touchscreen thing that where you literally, like, it's something that we all take for granted now. But like, just think about it, even if you weren't into Star Trek and you weren't like a nerd, I wasn't into Star Trek, but I knew of it, and I knew that they had those little kind of slidey touchscreen phone things. And like that back then was just this, holy crap, that's like sci-fi, never gonna happen, it's just a thing in a TV show. And it's literally what we have now. Like, we literally, as I'm writing this, I'm like just sliding, unlocking my phone and closing and sliding and unlock it just because I can, and it's amazing. But sorry, 5 minutes in nearly and I haven't even got to the actual question and proper topic. Is it gonna stop? And like, here's my reason for thinking that. Technology, the reason the technology gets so much better and so much faster is because the parts get smaller, you can fit more into whatever you're doing. But at some point, will you not be able to fit any more in, if that makes sense? Like, say for example, and I don't know a lot about this, I'm relatively nerdy, but I'm not like super geeky nerdy, whatever, like into science and all that, so I don't know, but just in my head, the way I think about it is like, you fit all this information into this like little thing, and you just keep making the thing smaller and smaller and smaller, while at the same time making it be able to fit more information. Is it going to get to the point where it gets too small and it reaches its excuse me, it gets too small, it can't get any smaller, and then it reaches its information cap when it gets to that smallness or whatever? Yeah, you could say you could just pack more in, but then again, eventually down the line, you'll get to the point where even though they're tiny and they've got ridiculous amounts of information, would there be enough room in the actual device that you're using, all that, like that kind of circuitry or whatever? Would there be enough room in that for the amount of them that you need, as well as all the other things that go into making the piece of technology? Or here's another thing that I've just completely talked about out of the blue: is the whole format and way that like technology exists now, can that change? Like right now, we're using essentially, for like, in the loosest term of way of using this term that I can, we're basically using analog stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's all physical. Oh, well, not analog, probably isn't the right word. I was thinking like analog as opposed to digital, where like analog is actual moving parts and digital is like all digital. You know what I mean? But oh, sorry, really, I feel like I'm coming down with something. But yeah, like, we're still using like the exact same technology that we have, like, and that, I know that sounds stupid, but if you get what I mean, like, we're still using the same kind of motherboards and RAM memory sticks and hard drives and SD cards and stuff like that. Like, there hasn't been a big push forward lately. People have just been, well, not lately obviously, but you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean again. Like, I'm talking very generally here, but I hope you kind of get what I'm like grasping at. Like, we're still using basically the same kind of devices since we first thought of it. Like, as soon as memory came about, we've used more or less the same kind of thing to store memory. You know, that kind of way? Like, graphics cards still basically the same, motherboards are still basically the same. Drastically better, yes, but like, they're still the same actual thing. Maybe in the future, instead of like us reaching this limit of you can only fit so many transistors or whatever, or you know what I mean, like on this motherboard or whatever. Sorry, I'm saying or whatever a lot because it's just so random and general and not really specific that I'm just hoping you know what I mean. So, like, will the actual format of the technology that we use, will that change? Because I was thinking about it, and it's never going to happen for a long time. But I was just curious, what do you guys think? Could it actually happen where our demands for the technology that we're using get so high that it's at the point where it's like, okay, we can't physically fit any more information, we can't make it any smaller, it can't hold any more, and even though there's like 5 billion of these little things holding all the information in the world, we still need more with our 3013 year technology, say in 1,000 years, for example. Like, we literally can't fit any more on. So, any moron. Moron, sorry. So like, would the format have to change? Like, would we have to come up with some new way of being technological, if that makes sense? I know this is such a random topic, but it was just something that was on my mind after I read that article. Like, I mean, it's taken 40 years to go from that big, huge, awkward, chunky, crazy, bad connection, no charge time. Well, I suppose phones nowadays don't really have much charge time either, but like, just an awful thing, like first draft of a mobile, and in just 40 years we've come to these mad things that we all carry around in our pockets every single day. Like, it's just mad. And I was just wondering, well, if it's taken 40 years and even now, like, we're kind of pushing what we can put into phones, will the phone change? Will the phone get bigger? In which case, we've already got bigger things that are bigger than phones, in like iPads and tablets and stuff. So, like, will the technology change, or will we just reach a flat out limit at some stage where it's like, okay, we we literally, like, yeah, I've said it in the video, you know what I mean? So that's the question. What do you think? Do you like, and if you actually know, if you're actually really into science and you actually know this, please do share. Like, I would be very interested, because it was something that was on my mind for whatever reason. But yeah, that's about it for that subject. There's still a good bit. There's still about 4 minutes or so, 3.5 minutes left in the video. So, excuse me, I'll kind of just chat about the PC experience so far. It's going really well, actually. I'm gonna be quite honest. So Battlefield is going really well. I'm loving it. I played a 1,000 ticket team deathmatch on No Shark Canals last night and loved it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how much I just am enjoying it. Like, I would not play 1,000 tickets TDM on the console if it was possible, if you paid me. Like, I just wouldn't do it. But on the PC, happy to do it. Not a problem. Get me in there. And I did really, really well as well. I think I posted a thing on Twitter. A game that I played on... What was it now? It was something good. It was like a 50 and... It was like a 50 something and 20 something game of... I'll just run back through my thing and check it now. It was only last night, so... Here it is. It was a game of... Oh, come on, load up. Oh yeah, well, it was TDM on Canals, and I went 94 and 56. Oh, so that was completely different. But yeah, 94 and 56 for someone who's been playing PC since Wednesday. And even at that, I've only got to play it like an hour or two per day, because when I get home from work, I'm fairly tired, so I literally get home from work, get a couple of hours on the gaming in, and then I head to bed for like 12 o'clock. So yeah, the PC's gone really well. I'm loving Battlefield, obviously. PlanetSide, not hugely loving it right now. It's just a bit too much for me, so I'm just leaving it for now. Far Cry 3, loving every minute. I didn't get to play a bit any tonight. I probably will after this commentary, actually. Blacklight Retribution, amazing game also. Minecraft, of course, is brilliant. Grand Theft Auto 4 with mods. The drifting on that game is insanely fun. COD 4, again, I had it on my old PC, but it's just great to be able to run it with no lag now, so I'm really enjoying that. Euro Truck Simulator 2, man, that's where it's at. That's why I got this PC. Just for the Euro Truck Simulator 2. Not really, that would be insane, but Euro Truck Simulator 2 is actually quite fun, in a really weirdly relaxing way. And then Natty, actually, if you guys know Natty, she was actually kind enough to send me over an Arma 3 Alpha Light beta key thing, or like trade me or send me as a gift or something like that. Last night, so I tried that out a bit today. Wasn't a huge fan of it. Arma, again, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot like PlanetSide. There's a lot to take in. There's a lot of kind of key bindings and stuff like that to remember. So I will get around to getting good at it, hopefully. And the same goes with PlanetSide. I really want to get good at it, but I find myself often just running around trying to find the battles, and then as soon as I get into the battles, just getting annihilated within the first like 2 or 3 minutes, which is kind of, or within the first like 2 or 3 seconds. Like, as soon as I find a battle, somebody comes out of nowhere and I'm dead. Like, that's frustrating for me. I'd rather just go and play some Battlefield or whatever. Like, but overall, it's going really well. I'm starting to get into the swing of the things with my job. It's really handy. It's just like in a shoe shop, clothes shop kind of thing, so it's not particularly hard. People are all cool, so that's all really good. Only thing that's bringing me down right now is this kind of illness that I've come down with. It came on just after the weekend there on Sunday, I think, and it was like one of them sore throats where it's down the bottom of your throat and it's like you can't really swallow, which is suckish because it's hard to drink or eat anything. And particularly, I'm like a tea fiend, so like I can't excuse me, it's hard to drink tea, which makes me sad because it's so hot. But yeah, I'm managing, and it's more just a case of man flu than anything else, where I'm making a bigger deal out of it than it actually is. But yeah, that's a little update. Hope you have answers and opinions on my like little main topic there. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching the video, and goodbye.